Hi everyone. Today video is on GraphQL. So this is my third video on GraphQL authentication. Okay. So in this video is about validating the JWT Auth token and also different types of authorization techniques that can be implemented in the GraphQL endpoint. Okay. So this course is implementing GraphQL in code, in pure code first approach, because code first and pure code first, there are two techniques. Okay, so this video series on pure code first approach. Okay, so in part 2, means previous video, I have explained about how to generate the JWT token. So this is the continuous part. So here we will validate that JWT token and also uh, try to implement the different authorization techniques. Okay, before going any further, I want to mention that the entire session, what I am going to explain in this video, has been already furnished to the blog. Okay, if you are interested to go through the blog, the link will be in the description under the video, so you can click over there. Okay, so let's jump into our sample project. So we have created a JWT authentication, right? So let's start from there only. Let's run our application. So let's navigate to GraphQL endpoint. Here is the GraphQL mutation resolver for user login. So if I hit run, now I have to get the JWT access token. So token has been written from the server. Now the first step is we need to validate this token against our server. So whenever client uses our access token in the authorization header while consume some secured resource in our endpoint, our server should validate our token, and it should decrypt our token, and it should populate the user information into the application context. Okay, so to do that, we need to install one new JWT Barrier plugin, NuGet. So that NuGet will provide few services. We need to register them in the startup file so that they are helpful to validate our token. Okay. So for that, let's search for JWT Barrier NuGet. Okay. So Microsoft.ASP.NET Core. Okay. So this is the live package Microsoft.ASP.NET Core Authentication.jwt Barrier. Okay. So I'm going to copy the command. For now, let's stop our application. So you can observe here our authentication barrier package has been installed into our application. Okay. Reference is added into the CS project file. Now with the help of this NuGet library, we need to register the JWT service. So for that, let's go to startup. Okay, let's do it here. Services dot add authentication. So here, by using the add authentication, first we need to specify the type of authentication we want to establish in our application. So for that, here you can observe default scheme, nothing but the name of the authentication type. So mine is like a JWT barrier token, right? So I can define the name like a barrier, JWT barrier. For that, I can use like JWT barrier constants. Okay, let's import the namespace. So authentication schema. Okay. If you hover here, it is a constant, nothing but the barrier. Okay. Now we need to extend this and add our add JWT barrier functionality. Okay. Okay. Options dot token. So now first thing is, if you recall our previous video, there are few things or claims that are application level security claims like issuer and audiences. Claims will be exist in our JWT. I have mentioned, right? So those will be helpful here to validate, that is to verify like that is the JWT token belongs to our server or not. That is one check. And another check is it is coming from the trusted client or not. That can be identified using the audience value. So we need to validate those parameters using the token validation parameters. So let's initialize this instance. Okay, token validation parameter. So let me remove this namespace and import it. Okay, here we have to specify those properties in this instance. So before doing that, let's get our uh, issuer and audience and key from our config settings. Okay, let's go to our app settings. Okay, we need to load these settings over there because we are using these values. We will validate our JWT claims. So let's move over to startup and where token settings equal to, okay, configuration dot action. Okay, so nothing but this only. So let's copy over here and we can typecast it as an object by using this get type method. So here I can define my token settings class. Okay, token settings. So it will gives us the loads the token settings from the configuration. Now just work on our token validation parameters. Valid issuer equal to, I can specify from the token settings issuer value. Next, I want to tell this instance we should validate this value. For that, we should have validate issuer boolean value. We need to set it to true. Similarly, next we need to assign audience valid audience and that value equal to audience. Okay, and we should enable validating the audience. Validate audience true. Okay, and next thing is issuer signing key. Okay, here I can say, specify the it expecting type is some security key. We know how we have generated our security key while generating JWT. Let's go here so we will get familiar. So security key with the help of symmetric security key. So just copy this line of code. Okay, let's come over to startup file and let's paste here. So let's import namespace and here no underscore token settings. Okay, next we should validate issuer signing key true. These are all of the basic configurations we need to set up with our token validation parameter. Okay, so we have what we did, we registered our application authentication model is barrier authentication, and also we registered the barrier configuration to validate our JWT token. Okay. Next, we need to register authentication middleware. Okay. Then only these services will be executed. So we should enable authentication middleware just on top of the authorization middleware. For that, just use authentication. Okay. Now GraphQL has providing a separate library for authorization, that is like hot chocolate authorization library. We need to install it. So let's go and search for it. So hotchocolate.asp.NET Core.authorization NuGet we need to install. Copy the command and let's install it. Now you can see the reference in the CS project file. Our hot chocolate authorization library has been successfully installed. Now in startup, in in GraphQL service, we need to add this authorization service as well. To do that, let's go here and let's add authorize method. So like this, we need to register so that now GraphQL based authorization will be enabled. Okay. Um, Here it won't it will just it will be a just wrapper to our existing .NET Core authorization service. Okay. So now we have successfully created, right? And if you recall, in our first video, we have created one simple query resolver. Let's go there. Okay, this is simple query resolver, right? Now I want to make it as a secured. Secured means only authenticated users can access this resolver, this hello resolver. Okay, for that we can simply use the authorization attributes to it. Okay, so let's first add basic authorization. Means if user is authenticated, then only they should access this resolver. So let's first access the resolver without any authentication process. So what I will do, I will call that hello resolver here. Okay. So query and it's simply hello, right? Just copy the name of the resolver and Pascal casing, it should be lower, right? Let's execute. Now we are getting the data from the server. Let's decorate with the authorization attribute. Okay, now here the author price. Okay, see here you can see two namespaces. One is from hot chocolate and another is from .NET Core authorization. Please make sure to select namespace from the hot chocolate library. Okay, see, and save it. Now we made our resolver as a protected service. So only authenticated user only can access. Now let's try to run again for consuming this resolver. See, we are getting some not authenticated code, and here message is clearly showing current user is not authorized to access this resource. Okay. Now, how can we access this? We need to use the our JWT access token as a uh, token pass to consume this resolver. So uh, let's fetch the access token first. Now it given me JWT access token. I need to use this access token to consume the protected API. For that, let's go here. So how we need to pass this token. So it should be passed as a authorization header. So click on this toggle, and here there are special tabs you can observe. In there, select HTTP headers tab, go there and type like authorization. Okay. Here we need to pass our token, but uh, we are using schema barrier token, right? So we should prefix, or we should prefix keyword barrier before the token, and these two token and this barrier keyword must be separated by a space. Okay, so like this barrier. This is my this identifies my authentication type at the server. Okay, and space paste here and our token. See, barrier space and token. That should be in the authorization header. Now execute our query. See, now I am easily getting the uh, sorry. Now I am authenticated user, so I am able to consume my secured endpoint. Okay, so this is the basic authentication authorization technique. Okay, next is, so once go to this JWT IO, and here we can do one thing. Here in encoded, just paste our access token. Okay, and you can observe here the beauty. See, JWT token header, and here this website will decrypt our access token, and it will reveal how our JWT token looks like. So any token, any JWT token can be decrypted and viewed here. So why I did this, you can observe how token will be created. I should have shown in the second video itself. I forgot to do that. Now I am showing. Okay. So if you observe, we have used HS algorithm like HS256, and here payload C, look last name Gomidi, and email test.com, and here see all the roles, claims roles. I am only have role like admin, and my expiration also add like claim. I have mentioned right application level claims. See here IIS and odd. These are nothing but our values that we have configured in our JS file. Okay, and type of algorithm we used for this signature. It is showing here. See, this algorithm only we used HMCA SHA 256. If you have to go to our auth logic while generating the token, we have used this algorithm. So that will be used for the signature. Okay, so this is the how JWT token was internally framed. Here we can decode. Okay, so let's come back to our topic like authorization. Okay, and now what I will do, from here you can observe, right? I have a role like admin. So what I will do, I want to authorize my resource. I want to protect my resource using the roles. Means only specified roles. Okay, means I can specify a group of roles. The authenticated user must have at least one role in that group so that he can consume that endpoint. If user doesn't have at least one role in the group we specified in authorization, then he will get response like unauthorized. Okay, so let's understand how the role-based authorization works. Let's go to our query resolver class. Here we can define our roles group like roles equal to, it should be a string array. Okay, and here I can specify uh, let me give a role super admin. Okay, but this role I don't have. See, I have only admin. Let's try to consume now. Okay, I'm consuming now. It's refreshed page. See, you are not authorized because I don't have that role. So I will increase my authorization group. So what I will do, I will give one more role like admin. So in this group, at least one role should I must have to consume this resource. So in this group, I have admin. Now I can able to consume this resource. Let's test it. Okay, let's run. See, now I am able to consume my resource endpoint. So this is how roles-based authorization will work. Okay, this is second technique. First is basic technique, and this is roles-based role-based authorization technique. And next, policy-based roles authorization. Okay, what is policy? A policy is nothing but in startup will create a register like a service on authorization where we can specify our required roles inside of it as a policy. Okay, what is the benefit of this approach means we no need to create like for suppose I have n number of resolvers in this query class. I should have all the resolvers should have this authorization attribute. So what I have to do, I need to copy paste. But if we create a policy, in policy, we will have a name, we will register policy with a name, and inside of it, we will register all our required roles as a group like this only. But if we do like that in policy, we no need to specify all the roles here. Simply, I can specify the role name itself. Okay, sorry, policy name itself. So it will reduce the duplication of the code, and it is very easy as well. Okay, so now what I will do, I will create one policy for role-based authorization. Okay, let's go to startup and register like service dot add authorization. Okay, so let's do that. And here options, add policy. So here first parameter is I need to register the name to this policy. So I will register like roles policy. Okay, and inside policy you will have a delegate, and here we can register our roles. For that, policy dot we need to use required roles method. Okay, and here we can specify the array of string data. Okay, I just copy paste these values here. Okay, and now simply I can use this name for registering the policy. So copy the name of my policy, and here let's comment this. Okay, so this is the policy based authorization. Let's test it. See, I am getting the data. So let's check for negative result. To do that, what we will do, I will delete this. Uh, I have admin role, right? So I am deleting from the policy. So now I should get unauthorized. Okay, page refresh. Let's run again. say I'm get unauthorized. So re-enable it. Page refreshed. Now run it. Now I am getting the data. So hence prove that policy-based roles authorization also working for it. So we have checked three kinds of authorization: basic authorization, next pure role-based authorization, next policy-based roles authorization. Okay. Next, one more technique we have, that is claims-based authorization. Okay. So claims-based also should be registered like policy only. Okay. So what I will do, I will create one more policy and I will register like claims policy. Okay. And policy. So now instead of require roles, that is used for roles policy. But now I want to use claims policy, right? I need to use like claims, required claim. Okay. So first parameter, I need to give the name of the claim. So if I go to this JWT IO website, I have decrypted my token, right? What I am having claims like everything is claim, role also claim, but the roles have special configuration in claims. So they so that's why they have a different approach of authorization technique. Okay, exp is a claim, issue is a claim, email, and all these are claims only. Okay, last name, email, exp, iss, or all these are claims only. So in this approach, first parameter is claim name, that we have to specify. Okay, so here claim based authorization, we can have two different ways. Means here we register just name, right? If we leave like this, what is the this claim policy functionality means? It will check whether is having last name claim or not. It won't check anything else. What is the value of last name? It won't bother about it. It's only looks for whether user token have claim like last name. So let's save and check this whether it works or not. So it is independent of this type of claims registration is independent of the claim value. It's only depend upon the claim name. And I'm giving the claim name. So let's run and go here. Let's refresh the page. Now execute. See, I am getting because I have last name as a claim in my token. Let's do one negative case. For that, what I will do, I will change this claim name as last name to which my token doesn't have this claim. Now, as per our expectation, it should fail. See, it is failing. So claims based can be work like whether user having that particular claim, based on that as well we can secure the endpoint. Okay. Now what I will do, let me revert it. Now another technique is more similar to this only. Let's copy paste it. That is roles policy based claim technique only. Let's name it like claims 2. Here there is a overloaded method where I can specify group of claim value. Okay. So how it will work means when the token is received by the server checks for the last name claims. Then it's checks for the value. So that value, if exists in this group, at least it should match with any one of the value in the group that I am going to specify here. Then server will mark our JWT token as a secure token, authorized token, and it allows us to consume the endpoint. So let me create my group. Okay. So now this process again looks similar to roles policy, right? I have to give the value. So let me give me some dummy value first. Test one, test and test two. These only the last name test and test two are authorized users. Okay, when resolver is registered with this policy. Okay, let's replace with clients policy two. Okay, we know my last name is Bomidi, but I registered a test and test two means now I should rejected from the server if I run. I am rejected. Now let's add my last name in the group. See, now I am able to access. So how many different types of authorizations we have implemented here? Basic authorization, roles authorization, policy-based roles authorization, and clients-based roles authorization. In clients, we have two types of techniques, like only comparing with the claim name and next with values as well. So that's all about this video, how to validate a JWT auth token as well as the different authorization technique. Okay, in the next video, that is the last video of this GraphQL pure code first approach for authentication process. So next video, which is last video, I'm going to explain about how to create a refresh token and how also create a resolver method like on sending refresh token server, it will generate new access token back to the user. Okay, so that's it about this video. I hope this video has delivered some useful information to you all. If you like my video, please subscribe to my channel. We will meet you again with new videos. Until then, signing off.